Hello and welcome back to All Under Heaven. We have passed our first exam and now, well, I don't know what I'm doing. By that, I don't mean that I'm completely lost. I have some idea about what our objectives might be in the future. But what I mean is, if I was feudal at this point, what would I be doing? Well, I might be looking for a claim. I might be building up an army, and I might then be looking to use that army to press my claim on some land, thereby expanding. But the question is, what exactly is our goal in terms of that right now? What are we actively doing in order to improve our station? And I don't entirely know the levers that are available to us. So my goal by the end of this episode is to have a plan. It doesn't have to be a good plan. It doesn't have to be a successful plan. It just has to be something that we can actively work towards. Because there's a lot of reactive stuff, right? There's the, oh, well, if I raise my merit, then I might get some land if the Emperor so chooses to give me land. And that's fine. But do we have other options? Are there other things that we can be working towards? And that's the goal. So, to start with that, I would like to know a little bit more about our character. By that, I mean I want to know what's in the culture and what's in the religion, because there might be things that are quite relevant to us in these different places. Also, something that would be interesting to know is, do we actually want to focus on our current character? Or, because our current character has obviously already missed the children's examination, are we better off in a long-term thinking sort of way, better off looking at our children and trying to maximize where they can end up in life? It's an interesting thought. So, let's start with our culture. So we are the Han culture. Okay, Chinese heritage, Chinese language, martial is male only, and we have the Han aesthetics. Okay, so scholar officials can use the adopt Confucianism decision, which allows you to switch to a different faith? Huh. Interesting. We might want to have a look at the different faith options. You can take the author book decision. Okay, what's the author book decision? Let's have a look at this. So this is the first one. So we can choose that we want to just have a different faith. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. That's something we're going to have to examine a little bit here. Where is author book? Author book. A new work of poetry will be created. This artifact will give piety gain and poet experience gain. A poem is the quickest artifact to complete. You gain stress for doing it, and it's available every 10 years, and it only costs you 15 gold. Maybe this is something that we should just be spamming, right? Maybe we should be doing this every 10 years. We should be doing this, maybe. Like, this might give you more Confucian education experience gain, which could be very, very good for us. Okay, that's something to think about. What does poet give you now? So diplomacy per level of fame. It's weird that it's got a 0.0, given that it can only be an integer, but let's not worry about that. Yeah, like, this is more normal in terms of how it would show up. Anyway, weird. I guess maybe they've got a situation where they could give you like half, and then you need multiple to get a full point, but anyway, weird. Okay, so this just gives you diplomacy. Does diplomacy in any way affect anything that we care about if they change diplomacy? No. So diplomacy increases effectiveness of diplomacy schemes, increases initial legitimacy, opinion, and prestige. We don't care about herd because that's only for nomads, and we're not a nomad. Okay. And then if we go in here, you can get the Confucian education and you can get influence gain. So I think immediately we should be thinking about authoring a book. I don't know whether we have any other purpose for that, but it seems like it's something that's within our budget, and it seems like something that is encouraging you to do every 10 years. Let's think about that. Okay. Next, what else have we got? Characters of this culture will often learn the Chinese language. That's weird, but I understand why it's here. So obviously this makes no sense for the Han culture, right? This makes absolutely no sense for the Han culture because, well, Chinese language is a cultural pillar. But if we pick someone, I'm assuming there must be one on the edge here. Maybe... Nope, there isn't one on the edge that I can find. Anyway, if there was, say, another culture nearby, which didn't have the Chinese language, you could take scholar officials so that you would get the Chinese language, so that then you would get extra opinion with people who speak the Chinese language, right? That, I think, would be quite an interesting idea. Learn language. Success chance. 50% when learning the language of this culture. So not only does it allow you to learn the Chinese language, it allows other people to learn your language more easily, which means that their opinion of you or of other people of your culture will be higher. Okay. The Confucian education and loyal traits have additional bonuses. Okay. So this has different stuff depending on whether or not you actually have scholar officials. Okay. What does the loyal trait have? What's new? Actually don't know what the loyal traits new thing is here. I'm trying to spot what it would be. I think diplomacy, intrigue, and liege opinion are normal. I think this is normal. Maybe less likely to join factions, but I think that's normal. I wonder what that actually is. Maybe it's not showing us the one that's specific to our culture here. Actually, that'd be interesting. Let's have a look at us here. So, learning, merit, culture, opinion. Learning, merit, culture, opinion. We go and have a look here. Look at that. It's just learning opinion. So, for our culture, we're getting the merit and same culture opinion. Right? These are new things compared to what you get as a baseline. Okay, so there must be new stuff for loyal, but we'd have to find somebody of our culture who has loyal to find that out. Well, let's do a little investigating, shall we? I'm looking for someone whose culture is Han, and I'm looking for somebody who has the loyal trait. There's got to be somebody. There we go. Right, there you go. So you get more merit if you're loyal, and you get same culture opinion if you're loyal. Okay, cool. So that appears to be the bonus that you're getting for both of them. It's the same bonus. Interesting. Okay, we're finding out all sorts of things now. Loyal trait is more common, so there's less likely to be factions of the type it says, or all factions. Okay. Vassals of this culture do not consider differing faith or culture when joining factions. Okay, so if you're going to join a faction, different faith or culture doesn't change that. And all Han characters, monthly learning lifestyle experience is up. So if you're scholar officials, you get more monthly learning lifestyle experience. So that's encouraging you to go into the learning lifestyle. Is there anything new in learning lifestyle here for us? Nothing seems new here, but that's okay. It's okay. Just worth checking out. Okay. Art of War. This tradition allows a culture to unlock the repeating crossbow innovation in the tribal era, which I assume we did. By the way, you may notice that this screen is very different. As we're not actually like the cultural head, none of it's really that relevant, but they've made it, I believe, so that these now scale, or the speed that these unlock scale based upon the skill of the cultural head. So if the cultural head is very martial-minded, it will benefit if it's the fascination. So there's a lot of things like that. So they've tried to make it a little bit more obvious. I think you also get increased speed of the cultural spread one if you have higher cultural acceptance. So cultural spread is a nearby culture has a tech that you don't have. What this will then do is it'll be like, oh, if your cultural acceptance is higher, you'll get it quicker. If your cultural acceptance is lower, you'll get it slower, which kind of makes a level of sense. Anyway, that's fine. Let's have a look in here. I just want to see if we have repeating crossbows in the tribal era. I'm kind of assuming the answer is yes. Repeating crossbows. There we go. Shen Bigong. Yes, we do have them. Wonderful. Okay. Cool. I'm assuming not much of this is going to be relevant to us, because I don't think we have any men. Yeah, we have 0 men-at-arms, and we can have 0 men-at-arms. But anyway. Actually, that's interesting. Let me have a look at champions for a second here. Celestial -5. Okay, cool. What I was wondering is whether you could kind of make it a little bit weird by going into martial and getting something like household guard here and try and push up your number of knights. I guess you could. If you got +4 knights from that, you would end up with 6 overall. So you'd be able to have an army that has a singular knight in it. Weird. That's a very weird situation to get into in the game. Anyway, that's an aside. So you can recruit a bunch of men-at-arms. Fine. Guardians can transfer commander traits to their wards. I thought you could do that anyway. But maybe it's a more guaranteed thing. Or maybe the cultures I've been playing as had something else that allowed you to do that. Martial education traits also grant prowess. Okay, that's cool. Let's have a look at the martial education trait, shall we? So we're just looking for anybody who's got martial. So let's assume it's somebody who's high up here. And you're Han, right? Yep, Han got martial. Gives him 3 prowess. So you get half the martial that you get. Oh, so you get half prowess compared to martial? Yeah. So if you get 8 martial, you get 4 prowess. Okay. It's all making perfect sense so far. So all of this is cool information. Learning skill increases candidate score from military provinces. Oh, okay. So you get more learning lifestyle experience, and if you invest in learning, you're more likely to get a military province. So that is useful information. So what it's telling me here is you really need to focus on learning in order to boost up your other, or to boost up your chances of being considered for roles, right? And it's actively encouraging you to go down the learning education. So maybe us, who have chosen to go down what would normally be a sensible family focus, maybe we want to pivot when we can to a learning focus because our learning isn't really that good. And going in the learning focus might allow us to get things like Scholar, which would then allow us to raise our learning, which would then allow us to be more considered for things. Okay, that's cool. All Han characters get martial per merit rank. Ah, there you go. This is why it now says 0.5. I was saying that. I was like, these can't be in 0.5s. But yet, here it is. So you get 0.5 martial per merit rank. So we should currently be getting 0.5 martial. Which I'm assuming does not actually show up here. Oh, it does show up here. Interesting. So technically we have 6.5 martial. I wonder if that actually affects any of these numbers, whether these are actually on decimals now. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm assuming not, because this one is a decimal and it doesn't show any difference. So I'm assuming it only matters when you reach a whole number, but that's weird that they've made that change. Anyway, monthly merit per title men-at-arms based recruitment cost. So you get more merit if you have some men-at-arms. Men-at-arms cost more for Han characters, but they are better, and they can be larger if they're heavy infantry. Cool. Cultural primacy. Learning education traits and the scholar trait also give you cultural fascination progress. Now, that I don't think is relevant for us, it's only relevant for the head of the culture, I think. Because I don't think that if we have cultural fascination progress, it in any way affects the actual cultural fascination progress. Idle courtiers are less likely to become wanderers if they're lieges of the same culture. So, you're going to have less landless people, they're going to stay in your court and hang around. They are less willing to marry with other cultures. Characters are less willing to marry with distant realms. Very unlikely to arrange marriages outside their own culture. That's interesting. Characters are less willing to marry and very unlikely to arrange. I guess this is, they're less willing to accept an offer and they're very unlikely to make an offer. Okay, so this is probably to make sure that the culture actually stays in this part of the world and doesn't immediately just spread everywhere. Okay. Creating a hybrid culture requires 100% more cultural acceptance. 100% more cultural acceptance? Would that not imply it needs like 140% cultural acceptance? Anyway, it's also much harder to hybridize with this culture. I guess that could be true, because you could have something that makes it more likely. You could have something that makes it easier to have cultural acceptance at the same time, which would make it possible, but interesting, and may always challenge other characters to board games. Alright, so you get more lifestyle experience. So it's again saying you're going to get even more lifestyle experience. Piety per legitimacy level, it goes up. Opinion of different cultures is down. Different cultural opinion different culture opinion is down. So I guess that means different culture opinion of you for one of them. And then court grandeur bonus +5. Okay. So again, it's encouraging you stay in your culture and get learning and get lifestyle experience. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. Court machinations. Rulers of the hegemony tier, if allowed by gender law, can have up to 20 concubines. That is crazy. I heard that, but that is crazy. Does our current liege have 20 concubines? Our current liege has 1. Okay. Rulers, if allowed by gender law, can have up to 3 concubines. Do we take a negative for not having any? Let's have a look here. No, it does not appear like we have a negative. So it's not you have to have all your concubine positions filled like some of them. Okay. Rulers, if allowed by gender law, can have up to 1 spouse. Can appoint chief eunuch court position, which is a whole bunch of stuff for hostile schemes. Okay, cool. The eunuch and beardless eunuch traits grant additional skills, aptitude, merit, and influence. Alright, you know what we're doing here. Are there any eunuchs? Nope. Are there any, not bardless eunuchs, are there any beardless eunuchs? No. Alright then, well, that's kind of irrelevant then, isn't it? Right. So that's fine. Courtiers are more likely to join hostile schemes against fellow courtiers. So, they're less likely to join factions, but they're all in on schemes. Characters who are eunuch or beardless eunuch are more powerful agents in schemes. Okay, so a lot of bonuses for eunuchs and beardless eunuchs, despite there currently being none. Cultivation. Can use the adopt Taoism decision. Okay. Children may gain the wise man trait if they have a guardian of this culture with 12 plus learning. So the wise man trait is just learning here. It's more common though. They're more likely to get pensive and less likely to get rowdy. So rowdy tends to lead into the military path. So that makes a lot more sense. So you're more likely to get people who are going towards learning than you are to get towards military. And all hand characters live on average 5 years more. Actually, I don't think that's quite how life expectancy works. But anyway, yes. It's just add 5 to anything in your head. So in my head, what I usually say is around 50 is when you start thinking, if there's no positive or negative traits, you're starting to think they could die at some moment soon. If we just say, okay, add an extra 5 years to that, so about 55. Okay. Oh, also I just noticed here, some of these people have switched to other faiths. And we both consider each other righteous. Cool, and then intensive farming. More likely to be content. Okay, cool. Children tend to do slightly worse in martial education. Again, it's again saying they're less likely to have a martial education, and if they do, they're not going to be as successful in it. Diligent, patient, and athletic traits have additional bonuses. Well, we have diligent. So what's the diligent one? Diplomacy, stewardship, learning, stress. Okay, let's have a look at ours. Holding taxes in farmlands and floodplains. Well, I mean, at some point that might be relevant. We currently have no land, though, so... Okay. All Paddyfield lines of buildings may be built an era earlier. Men-at-arms cost even more. Levies cost more. But you get a ton of development growth and holding taxes in farmlands and hills. Okay. Cool. That's awesome. So we have a better idea about what our culture wants. Faith. So, mendicant preachers. You can convert faster. Characters of this faith gain additional bonus upon successfully completing a pilgrimage. So it's suggesting you should do a pilgrimage. Okay. We could maybe do one of those at some point, depending on how much it costs. And temper is a virtue, gluttonous is a sin. You can decide to meditate in seclusion, reducing stress, and possibly gaining theological insights. Is that something we can do? Meditate in seclusion? It's maybe something to consider. It might even increase your learning skill, and it's free. Every 3 years, I don't see why we shouldn't meditate. It's something to think about. Mind without matter. Sponsored inspirations produce artifacts of higher qualities. Characters are less likely to gain the infirm trait. So not only are you more likely to live longer. You're also less likely to get infirm, which will cause you to die, which means you're likely to live even longer. Okay. You got injury resistance and for your prowess, and you get less stress. Okay. Male dominated, pluralist, so county convert, so your land's harder to convert. Theocratic, local rights, has access to perform a ritual sacrifice decision, but the pilgrimage activity is more costly. What is a ritual sacrifice decision? I don't actually see it. Oh, there we go. Perform a ritual sacrifice. Make an offering of gold or prestige in return for piety. Okay, it might be something to consider. Then polytheist. Faiths of other religious families are considered hostile. So, religious family would be like a family of faith. So there's the Abrahamic family of faiths, there's the Dharmic family of faiths. So, yeah, ours is currently, ours is currently the, back to this, Dharmic, I'm assuming? Yeah, okay. Cool. Cousin marriage. Is there anything else that's weird in here? Same-sex relations accepted. Interesting. Multi-religious interweaving. Special doctrine. Non-Eastern faiths with the Dharmic syncretism tenet are considered astray instead of evil. Mutual 30 opinion bonus with faiths that have the Dharmic syncretism tenet. Alright. And then immaterial harmony. Considers and is considered by faiths of the immaterial harmony special doctrine to be righteous instead of astray, hostile, or evil. Infidel vassals are less likely to join independents and populist factions. Piety to convert another faith with this doctrine, minus 50%. Buddhist faiths may use the ascetic vows interaction. Okay. Let's have a look at some of these other faiths that we can turn into as well. So it's not going to be Buddhist faiths. We're going to be looking at... I'm going to scroll down quite a lot to find any. Maybe there... there's one. Wait, is that one of the ones we can convert to? The Confucian... Yes, okay. So this gives you pursuit of knowledge. Makes following traits virtues, so it's things like astute intellectual and other such things. And gives you even more learning lifestyle experience. Unlocks the inspection activity at the cost of piety. Aha, so that's how you can do the inspection activity. So what I was wondering is, it said you get bonuses for doing the inspection activity, and I'm like, but that's only done one very specific lifestyle thing. Do you need to do that? No, not if you convert to this faith. Then filial piety. Parents will automatically get perpetual hooks on their children. Oh, okay, so reusable hooks on children. Interesting. The rest of it appears to be mostly the same. Was lineal prohibition. Marriage between members of the same dynasty is forbidden. Oh. Okay, interesting. So cousins not okay. Okay, and same-sex relations are shunned in this one. Oh. Okay, so quite different, but considered righteous. And what's the other one that we... Taoism? What does it actually say, Taoism? But there are multiple Confucianisms, because there's also Jing... can I look at them from here? So if I click on it here, is there any way of getting... Ah, perfect. So harmonious society is a different one here. So vassals are more likely to have the zealot stance. Okay, cool. And then if we go and have a look at Taoism for the three here, we have Zengyi, so communion, may seek indulgences from the head of faith to pay golds in exchange for piety. Characters who have committed criminal acts may seek indulgences. Okay, mendicant preachers is the conversion thing. And then esotericism. Children with the learning education focus may gain the wise man trait if they do well at their studies. And it makes the wise man trait a virtue. Okay. Same thing, lineal prohibition here as well. Interesting. Same sex is accepted, as is witchcraft under this one. Wait, is it not criminal under the under R1? Let's have a look. Is it criminal under R1? Shunned. Okay. Is it criminal under Confucianism? Yes, it is. Oh, that's going to cause some issues, isn't it? Okay. Changqing. So Changqing has pacifism in here as well. So you cannot declare holy wars or raid. Take the vows and become a monk. And asceticism, which means that you can decide to meditate in seclusion, which you can do anyway. Also allows you to become an adventurer if you want to. Okay. Interesting. So that's that one. And then Quanzen. Inner Journeys. Oh no, we've seen that one. It's just a mixture of some of the others. Okay. Interesting. Huh. So is there anything we want to switch to? I'd be tempted to go down Pursuit of Knowledge, but I think we would actually want to have one of... Well, I guess we'd want to switch there if we want the learning lifestyle. Our current one, though, does allow us to meditate in seclusion. Oh yeah, I guess I was saying we can already do that. I was thinking it was part of our culture, but no, it's part of our current religion. So, yes, I guess it does make sense for you to have it in there. Okay. Interesting. So there's a lot of options for religion, for places you can go. I wonder if there's options for you to convert into, or convert back to this one. I guess you would just convert to your liege's religion, which I think is usually something you're able to do. Anyway, I have talked a lot, so we should maybe try doing something. But we have some ideas about things here. So in search of the Pure Land, what's this? Embrace Buddhism and leave your previous obligations behind. If you're at least 60 years old, have less than fine health, contagious deadly disease, you're infirm or melancholic, you can just become a Buddhist monk. Oh, okay. Interesting. And just leave. And then petition the Huangdi. You travel to Huangdi Zhao Zhu Song. So that is the hegemony one. Okay, in order to deliver my petition. Alright, but we don't want to do that. Because it's grayed out. Oh, because my rank is inferior to the 7th rank, of course. Can't do this for a while, but will notify us on that one. Career path is, do we want to change to military, which we don't for now. Consult Heaven. House Head consults Heaven to trigger Dynastic Cycle's Dynastic Cycle Catalyst. Okay, interesting. And we can lower the progress towards tension. So we can try and keep us in the current cycle. I see. You can also try and push you toward or away from tension via this as well. Oh, okay. And you can't push yourself towards expansion because we're not the son of heaven or part of the expansionist movement. And then movement petition. As the head of a movement, I think we could make this, right? And then we could try and change some of these laws, but we don't really need to care about that because we're not head of petition. Alright. That is a lot of talking that I've done. Let's have a look and do something. So, I'm going to start from meditate in seclusion. You can do this every 3 years. It seems like something you want to spam. Only through meditation can we come to understand the true nature of the universe. Though it means neglect to my other responsibilities, by retreating into seclusion for meditation I may learn more about myself and the universe I inhabit. Embarking on an inner journey through meditation is no trivial thing. Many preparations will need to be made, the least of which is deciding where I shall retreat to. The location I choose to meditate in will heavily influence the outcome of my journey. So, I guess I will do it in my own estate as it is my only option. It's safe and easy to do it here. Okay. And I'm now doing that for 6 months. Okay. And I can't do anything else while I'm doing it? Fantastic. Let's go speed 5 and let some time progress. Whoa. Liege passed law. The regional command law. So, it's something to do with men-at-arms titles. And governors can keep less personal men-at-arms and slightly more title men-at-arms. Law replaced. The imperial command law is no longer valid. It has been replaced by that. So that's why they changed it. It's because it's no longer valid. Okay. We gained 70 merit because our mentor gave it to us via this scheme receiving mentorship. Okay. How far away are we from 8th? Requires 1,000 and we're currently at 712 and we're getting 1 per month. So we're really hoping that this gives us stuff. Fair enough. Synthesize area is being planned. It's a great project. It needs 1 contributions to start. So where do I see great projects on this thing here? That's what I want to know. Where do I actually see a great project? Okay, they're massive undertakings, yeah. But what I want to know is, how do I see... Oh, there we go. I just see it on the map. Okay. So if we had the money, we could contribute towards it. However, I can't. Because I don't have the money. Fair enough. So what's he trying to do? He's trying to synthesize an area. So he's trying to convert the culture from Lanzhou to Han. Alright. Fair enough. Right. Let's let some more time pass. My daughter. Is this our first child? It is. Fantastic. Oh, Jui, you have been so brave, so strong. Words cannot describe my love for you, and now we have a perfect little daughter. Who will you become, my child, and what shall I call you? You shall be called... Qing Chan? Alright, sure. Hey, and it's got enough contributions. It only needed 1 to start. That's going to take 17 years, and we can see the people have contributed to different bits of it. Okay, cool. Well, that's neat. Anyway, we now have a daughter. And she is comely. Now, this daughter isn't my player heir because I have no player heir. Okay. Yes, okay. I have no player heir. I was just thinking there, I have no heir here, but I have no heir because the family would simply just cease to exist were we to die. Okay, so we still need a son to be our heir because this is male-only succession. Okay, we can do that. Sorry, I just noticed this changing in size above there and thought we'd check what was happening. Meditate in seclusion. Retreating to the privacy of my chambers, I began an extended period of fasting and meditation. Unburdened by the trite concerns of everyday court life, I soon found myself spending more time just enjoying simple pleasures in life. So I got 0 stress and I improved my skill in meditation, which I assume means that I'm able to meditate better in the future? Okay. The latest work of my elder, Minister Hu Su, has become all the rage at court as of late. The piece deals with memory and what we leave behind, and Hu Su has publicly dedicated it to me. My elder has dedicated me a poem. Well, I suppose. A lament for the gentleman. Men need not fear as lives depart, crossing to quiet death with noble heart, and when their final hour nears, their name lives on the lips of peers. So far I've kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. It's a bit of an odd one, but maybe it's about himself, and his name lives on in us? I don't know. We're going to say it's heartfelt because he's like, you know, he's a minister of the 2nd level, and, well, he's our elder, so I'll say it's truly heartfelt, whether we believe it or not. Right. Okay. Have I finished meditating? I believe I have. So why can I not author a book? Because I'm currently busy meditating. I guess I've not finished meditating. You conclude your meditation. Wonderful. Let's author a book. Now the question is, are we doing poetry or prose? I think we want to do prose because we want Confucian education to go up. So let's write a book on my thoughts on philosophy and the virtues in our time. Alright. Let's go. As I sit down on my desk to ponder the work that lies ahead, my eyes fall on the 4 treasures of the study. As a scholar, these are the tools of my trade. With them I can employ reason and enlighten others. But what is it that I should say? I could try to shed new light on past events, or I could embark on something more current by analysing virtuous actions using a recent event. So I can do a work of history, which will give me a book that gives influence, or a philosophical essay that will give me Confucian education. I will do that, and I get to write a book for 5 months. Alright. Let's do it. Let's write a book. Also, apparently I could do my ritual sacrifice at the same time if I wanted to. I don't have any prestige to spend, though, so I guess it doesn't really make a lot of sense unless I'm spending gold to do it. And I don't have a lot of gold, so we'll leave it for now. Okay, develop communities is being planned. And it is now started, so develop communities is another great project. Alright, I see. Every holding adds or upgrades a building. Every county gains developed communities, which gives development growth, and then they also get development growth. Okay, that's kind of cool. Right, let's carry on writing our book. Oh, we got another 70 mentorship. Yes, and they're synthesizing another area. Alright, so there are lots of great projects going on all at once. We are now about 207 away from upgrading. I gained additional taxes. I gained an additional 50 tax money from somewhere. Well done. Oh, the synthesized area has been started. To the sensible, you, Xin Fang. I've heard good things about you, and I'm interested in starting a written conversation. I hope this letter finds you willing, and I'm awaiting your swift reply. Do I want to start exchanging letters with Zhao Zongpu? I guess I could. Sure. He is a 5th rank military person. Alright. You know what? Let's start. One, I'm going to... let's start with my elder here before I do anything else. I'm going to create a list of people we care about. Just so that we have people who we actually care about so that we can figure out what we want to do. Okay. I'll start exchanging letters with them. Okay. Cool. Thank you for the swift response. I'm looking forward to our correspondence. Please, I implore you, pick the first subject for us to discuss. That's a very weird way to start a conversation. So, realm administration, sword practice, I'll send a gift to show my appreciation. So, topic I'm knowledgeable about might impress him. I can talk about a topic that's close to his heart, or a gift to show my appreciation. Let's talk about something he likes, sword practice. Musings of you, Xin Fang. Argumentative writing is something that ought to come natural to any scholar. In my text on the overall use of strict logic, I've been able to practice my skills at using examples to support a central assertion. You have managed to speak with a clarity that few in our time possess, my elder, Hu Su proclaims. It is clear that I have managed to stir genuine emotion with my words. So I can say, clearly I have it in me, and I get 30 merit, and I also get some trait experience, or this will be my gift to you. Which point I gain slightly more trait experience. He becomes my friend, and I get these musings. But I would lose the musings. Okay. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to say, clearly I have it in me. To the charming gentleman, Yu Xingfang, you've greatly misjudged me if you think sycophancy will get you anywhere. I see now your words are as empty as your skull, and to think I used to value your friendship. I got diplomacy lifestyle experience and he hates us. Oh. Okay. My bad. Well, I'm going to put my journal on us here. So we get prestige per month of a tiny, tiny amount. Learning lifestyle experience gain. Some study phase length increase, which means that we can now study quicker. And then Confucian education gets more experience gain. Okay. When can I switch from this? In 3 years. I guess I should switch from this when I have a son. Probably. What's this? Oh, activity joinable. Governor Wang Shao's local examination. I have to leave immediately. Is this the person I've been speaking to? No, I've been speaking to Zhao Zongpu, not Wang Xiao. Although they do have very similar outfits, but they do look very different. Okay. Let's go to this examination. Wow, it's a long way away, but we'll go. And then on the way back, we are going to go to... I'm tempted to go all the way out to these council ones as well. Oh, when you visit, you also gain merit for visiting some of these places. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm just going to change my route there. Can I go through this way? Yeah, so I take less danger. I'm going to gain merit for going to some of these places as well. Oh, okay. Another reason to travel. You can gain merit if you travel. Okay, I want to go there. Then I want to head south to Wudang. Then I want to head to there. I don't want to go via the mountain though, if that's entirely possible. Am I missing something here? Why are you taking me this route? Is there not a route directly into here? Into Rang? I guess not. Okay. I'll take my 1% chance of danger then. Okay. And then in here, and then we're back. Okay. That seems reasonable. Right. We have a little danger. So this danger, it says is here. It's hills. I could pay for a mountaineer. And I have no danger. Okay, I'll pay the 2 gold for no danger. Do I want to pay anything to get there quicker? I'm gonna arrive with 14 days. Could hire mercenary guards. That would give me a little bit more of a gap. Can I do that and not hire mountaineers? Yes, okay. So we'll do that. Let's join. Wonderful. Right, let's go. We are now off to our examination, which we might fail because we're not necessarily the best, but you know, we might gain merit for doing it. Hey, I got some more merit here. I might get enough merit to rank up to the next rank at some point. Roadside poetry. Reaching a road crossing, I find numerous poems stuck to the boundary tablets. They seem to be written by other travellers, some that mention places as remote as Zuyi's wetlands, dotted with wide marshes and reeds. One poem in particular catches my eye. It details a terrible dispute between 2 noble families torn apart over an inheritance dispute. So I can try and glean insights from one poem. Or how quaint. I don't think we have enough time to wait here, but yeah, I'll say how quaint for now. I don't have enough time to do that. A duel demanded. An imposing man is standing on the road ahead of us. I'm Si Yuan of Hua Zhao. I've bested dozens of men in combat, and honestly all of those fights were dull, so here I am on this road looking for someone better than me that I can learn from. Alright, are we better than him? No. Is my captain better than him that I recruited? Yes. We can potentially recruit this guy that way. Do we want to? Either way, I'm delayed 30 days. Oh no. I guess we'll do this. Am I going to be late now? Also, he's now been recruited to my court. That's kind of cool. I might be late though. Hey! My personal physician then treated him, which got him experience. That's nice. I think I'm going to be late, right? 57 days till it begins. Let's have a look at our travel. We're going to get there in how many days? 6 months. Well, that's for the whole travel. It doesn't say when we're actually going to get there. Hopefully we can get there in time. Okay. I'm late. Maybe? I'm on time enough? I'm 20 days early. Okay. Oh, I can't take the examination because I already passed it. But I can assist the examination for other people. Oh, I didn't realize that we weren't even taking part. But okay. That's fine. We can assist. Okay, so you see we're not on the board at the side anymore. Why has this person got color to his name? As in, like, why are you this color and you this color? Not entirely sure. Oh, let's have a look at you. So you have no rank and you have a rank, is that right? Nope, that's not the reason why. I have no idea. Anyway. Having completed the examination, it's now time to cultivate Guanji, a web of personal ties, people who trust each other and trade favors. It's built face to face over tea, dinners, or when help is offered, and often matters more than formal rules. Okay. Reflecting on Mengji. Governor Wen Baoyong of Xingfeng stands before a stone stele etched with a verse from Mengzi, fingers clasped behind his back in contemplation. I've read this line countless times, he murmurs as you approach, yet its essence remains elusive. Mengji says, A great person is one who retains their child's heart. What do you make of that, gentleman Yu Jingfang? I can say is to preserve what the ancients called Di, refers to moral power or virtue, a force that allows an individual to positively influence others and maintain social harmony. And that'll give me Confucian education trait bonus. Rightful order above all, which gives me merit, but a little less experience. Where one must achieve meaning by oneself. Let's say righteous order, so that's going to give us enough, I think, to hit level 1 in Confucianism. But it's also going to give us 10 merit. Let's do it. We're all about the merit gain, because we need as much as we can. We're now 99 away from ranking up. Judging the brush. My acquaintance Gentleman Wang bows lightly, presenting a carefully folded scroll. Gentlemen, he says, I humbly offer my compositions for your critique. I have laboured over these lines. Some are bold with certainty, others reflect my search for balance. I welcome your thoughts. So because I have high diplomacy, I can offer gentle and constructive feedback, mock his pitiful attempts, or compare his work to ancients and write a commentary to give us learning, lifestyle experience, and merit. Ooh, I feel like we have to do that. Yes. Also, that gives us level 1, right? Yeah, we're now level 1, which gives us learning, monthly lifestyle experience, and Confucian opinion. Now, the way that these type of traits work, each level is added to the previous level. So next level will get 4% plus 1 stewardship, and then you'll get this, and then you'll get this, and then you'll get this. So there's quite a lot of bonuses we can get here, and quite a lot of monthly lifestyle experience. It's weird that it's 4% though. That's a very odd number. Was 5% too much or something? Anyway, it's weird. I'm trying to figure out with that, if like, I guess it's going to be how much overall. So it's 20% overall. I guess it's 20% if you haven't maxed out, which is kind of nice. Instead of 25%. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they felt 25% was too much and they just went 20%, cut it in 5. Okay. The weight of the ink. Li Anren, the son and caravan leader of my fellow subject, Commandant Li Kan, prepares the second of the 4 treasures ahead of the examination. Grinding pine soot into the bronze inkwell with deliberate practice strokes, he expertly mixes good quality ink. With a sharp glance, he hands me the pestle. It's your turn now. This ink must flow like moonlight over water, and endure longer than empires. The proper formula is in the Book of Rites. A classic of order and harmony prescribing the proper conduct for scholars, sons, and sovereigns alike. To follow its precepts is to honour the foundations of civilization. And say the classics do not err. A few drops of ginseng resin is experimental, or let the servants mix the ink. We'll do this. Let's say the classics do not err. Okay, a little bit more experience. A timely challenge. Old practice scrolls are unrolled between me and Prefect He Junping of Ji Zhao. They are from a previous era, he notes, brushing the parchment reverently. Why don't you answer one of these questions and let me judge your response? Pleasantly, I raise an eyebrow. These scrolls make me remember the time when I passed the provincial examination in Shangdang. And say, let us grade one another's answers, or let us reminisce. This is grade one another's answers. Let's say that. Yeah, paste my own. I got a diplomacy perk though. I think I'm going to grab Heart of the Family and head towards Groom to Rule. I think that's going to be good. It'll get my children extra skill points. I feel like we have to care a lot about our children's education. A whispered seat swap. Zhao Zonggrui leans towards Sun Gui. Their voices are hushed, but I can still overhear the entrance conversation. If we switch seats, Sun Gui murmurs, the examiner of the gentle eyes will be the one to judge my essay. I can call out their scheme before the hall, which will then make us 8th level, but they won't like me for it. Offer my assistance, or urge them, or quietly urge them to reconsider. I feel like we would quietly urge them to reconsider. Okay. And more days going. I think I might be about to get my, you know, recurring merit. Let's see. I got it. I have now upgraded my merit rank. I'm now an 8th rank in where I can be. So what does that mean? So that means that compared to 9th rank, I get 5% more monthly salary base rate and an extra 10 movement power. It also means I go from like 440th in line to 69th in line for a title, which is a reasonable increase, I would say. Meritorious path. My hard work and diligence have paid off. I've been granted the merit rank of lower middle. I may begin my career in earnest, leaving behind the lower positions of an official and opening the door to more important positions. Once an opening becomes available, of course. I know I can do better and I can get higher ambitions, which increases my monthly merit, or important milestone. I'll take the extra stress, yeah. Releasing the roll. The bell chimes signaling that the local examination has ended and its results published. With that, a fresh host of scholars have taken their first but most important step along the stairway to high office, and I gain a bunch of merit for helping out. Nice. How much do I need for 7th rank? 2,000. Okay, so I'm already 1/5 of the way there. That's cool. Alright. Well, time to head home. Let's go speed 5. A man of unusual skills. After we have travelled together for a while, I've noticed there is something about Rengui. He often helps others with small wounds and scratches, putting together small poultices like it was nothing. When we pass through Wushan, I see him suddenly run to a small peasant kid struggling to breathe and turning an unnatural colour in a back alley. And before you know it, the kid's face returns to normal. How did he do it? Sensei, you are the pride of this entourage, or how do you know so much about ailments and disease? It's a chance I can become a novice physician? It's extra learning. I'll take it. I gain the trait novice physician. Awesome. Okay. I just want to see something here in this. Is there a way of seeing what else leads into my candidate score? Learning skill. But let's learning a skill at half value. Diplomacy skill at a quarter value, rounded up. Stewardship skill at quarter value, so that would line up with diplomacy. And then Confucian education gives us +7. Our age is actually a -10. If our age was higher, we'd be so much higher. See, like, if we're currently at 14. If our age was higher, we would be at 58. So we got up 10 positions from age. That's interesting. Also, my regent just got me 75 gold. I have a feeling that those events that give you money are probably not balanced for you being in this current position. Because, like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right that you would get that much gold, given that I'm only making 0.6, but anyway, whatever. If I influence our career, let's just see what it does. So, your candidate score for civilian appointment succession will increase by 10, cost you 100. Okay, so that would put us 10 positions up, so it might be worth doing as we get closer to getting a title. Okay. Caught outside. Just as we were about to set out, it started snowing. I can't help but curse my poor luck. But I had seen the clouds coming in for a while, and it doesn't seem to let up anytime soon. If we want to make our journey on time, we had best set out, but riding through a snowstorm is risky at best. So we can say an opportunity to rest, or a little bit of snow won't hurt anyone. Let's rest. We're not in a rush on the way back. Hey, visited somewhere else and got some more merit. Night by the campfire. Long after night has settled, I find myself laughing and telling stories and drinking with my Hishang Rengui. I didn't know he had it in him, but Rengui ended up telling a particularly ribald tale about 4 peasants he had seen in Yanzhou. After drying my eyes from the laughter and drinking a bit to clear my throat, I will... let's tell a story of our own. Sure. Oh. Just flying on our way back, getting a ton of experience and extra bits of merit for visiting these places. Okay. Cool. You got a learning perk. We are paused. Cool. As I scroll around the market of Gucheng, a loud ruckus comes from just a couple of stalls down from me. There's a furious man animated and waving his hands. Prior Lang Chuang will have your head for this, he yells at another merchant, who looks, if possible, even angrier. I would love to see him try, the stall owner dismisses the merchant with a wave of his hand. Angrily turning to his bodyguards, the merchant clearly intends to get a deal one way or another. We can aid him, and we can get an alliance with this person, which I don't need. Seems like the perfect time to make some coin, or I'll watch the spectacle. Yeah, let's just watch the spectacle for now. Also, learning thing. What am I going to grab? Well, there are two obvious paths for us here. First is pedagogy, which, one, means that our study schemes are faster, which is actually new. But two means that our wards are better, so if we wanted to educate our child, potentially that's something we could do. Anatomical studies, though, is incredible, because it means that your personal physician is better, which means that you don't have that much trouble from illness. Which I think is probably our path. Ooh, Faithful gives you merit. Oh. Merit per month? It's not a lot, but it's a little. Well, is there anything else new in here that I can see? Let's just do a quick scan. Learning per merit rank. Huh. Okay. Lots of things per level of devotion. Learning per merit rank again. There's multiple learning per merit ranks in here. Yeah, so it definitely wants you to go down this path if you want to go up in merit. I'm assuming none of this does anything because it's already OP. That would be correct. None of this does anything because it's already OP. Interesting. I do think that this is interesting because you learn on the job is also potentially very, very good because you get much more skills, which then gives you more candidate score. Let's grab pedagogy. Sure. Right. Let's go. In more merit. So we're currently about 600 away from where we need to be. More lifestyle experience, and we've arrived home. Wonderful. Perform a ritual sacrifice or join Governor Zhao Zun's local examination. So this is the same level of examination as that we just did. Where is it? It's up to the north. Okay. Well, that might be worth doing just to visit the places up there. But I think this is where I'm going to end the episode for today. Thank you very much for watching. I said at the start of the episode I wanted to have a path forward for us. And I think we do. I think we understand what we need to be doing more now. We need to go into the learning focus. We need to do examinations. We need to do these things that happen every 3 years, every 5 years, every 10 years. We need to be cycling through things, trying to get merit. We need to be looking at our child, trying to improve them. And we're basically just aiming to improve our standing bit by bit by bit by bit until such a point as we can participate more fully within the empire, well, within the hegemony. Once we can, then there's going to be some more. There's going to be us working out what are our next steps, which I imagine are still going to be very different than a normal landed character. But we have a start, we have an idea about how to put our foot on the first rung of the ladder, and we know where we're going. So, with that, I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.